On this edition of Good Day DePaul, a DePaul professor is being heralded for a selfless act on an L train.
The making of DePaul's end-of-the-year music festival, Fest.
And the Ice Bucket Challenge makes a comeback. I'm Tori Trevino.
And I'm Joseph Francis, and this is Good Day DePaul.
Many of us ride the L and see firsthand those who seek shelter there. Recently, a DePaul professor decided to help one of these people, and it's led to worldwide attention. Good Day DePaul's Lane Wyatt has the story.
The power of social media is that it can connect you to anyone in the world. It lets you know about things you would otherwise never know about. For former alderman and current DePaul faculty member Edwin Eisendrath, what was unknown to him is that he was a viral sensation. Here's what happened. A TikTok user took a video on a CTA car showing Eisendrath had taken off his jacket and had laid it over a sleeping homeless teenager. It sparked immediate comments on social media. One person said, quote, "I think this is Edwin Eisendrath, former alderman and professor at DePaul, one of the most inspirational, intelligent, and kind people I've met." Eisendrath later described what happened.
The train was crowded, it was full, but no one was paying attention to this young man laid out across three very uncomfortable, hard seats. And my heart broke. His clothes clearly were probably not his. They didn't fit, they were torn, it was cold. And I took off my coat, I laid it over him, and went on to the airport. And I thought that was the end of it. And I did not understand that. But I didn't understand the power of social media, and I certainly didn't know that somebody was filming it.
After the video spread on social media, former students, family, and friends reached out to Eisendrath.
I got one email from a student from a course I taught last quarter, and then I got another, and then I got another, and then my adult children said they were hearing about it from their friends, and then the dam broke.
Eisendrath says his actions was just about kindness, something he feels there needs to be more of in our world.
This problem of young people who have no home, no houses, is a very real problem, and people feel it all the time, and they don't know what to feel about it, but it's out there, and everyone encounters it, and it's heartbreaking. And two, we live in a cruel time. I mean, you have the government of the United States doing things that are appalling and cruel. And I think people want to remember that that's not us.
Edwin Eisendrath will be teaching again at DePaul this coming fall and hopes to bring his principles into the classroom every day. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lane Wyatt.
This is Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, celebrating the history of those who make up almost 7% of Chicago's population. Good Day DePaul's Bing Wong reports on the concerns that many of these people are now facing.
We need to be out there spreading this to millions of people.
Outside the United States Supreme Court recently, protesters rallied as justices heard arguments in a case that challenges birthright citizenship.
We will hear argument this morning in case 24A884, Trump versus CASA Incorporated, and the consolidated cases.
One of President Trump's first acts in his second term was signing an executive order denying birthright citizenship, which gives automatic citizenship to U.S.-born children of non-citizens. In 1898, the Supreme Court ruled in United States versus Wong Kim Ark that the 14th Amendment grants citizenship to anyone born in the United States, except for children of diplomats. Wong Kim Ark, born in 1873 in San Francisco to Chinese immigrant parents, was denied re-entry to the United States after a trip abroad. This was amid intense anti-Asian racism reflected in the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act, which barred Chinese immigration and citizenship.
Chinese were seen as taking away white workers' jobs. We were seen as disease carriers of malaria, tuberculosis, smallpox, the bubonic plague. And because of those fears, the U.S. passed the 1882 Exclusion Act.
The challenge comes amid a surge in anti-Asian hate. A poll by the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism revealed that anti-Asian hate crime increased by 339% from 2020 to 2021, largely due to the association of COVID-19 to Chinese people.
President Trump's rhetoric, when he used the term Chinese virus, and that went viral on social media, that really racialized the disease. It made the virus Chinese, and it stigmatized the people so that Chinese were the disease carriers. People who conflated Chinese people with China also conflated Chinese Americans and Asian Americans with Chinese people.
A Pew Research Center poll this year shows that 42% of Americans see China as the biggest threat to national security and the economy. Scholars say these perceptions could fuel anti-immigrant sentiments against Asian Americans, as it has in the past.
There's a historical pattern for this kind of xenophobic rhetoric inciting widespread anti-Asian sentiment, especially times of economic or political crisis. And there were powerful organized campaigns in the early 20th century led by a coalition of nativist groups, politicians, media outlets, and even ordinary folks to strip Asian Americans of birthright citizenship.
Race-based scapegoating has deep roots in U.S. history, with Asian Americans often seen as perpetual foreigners. During national crises, they were targeted by both individuals and institutions.
Based on anti-Asian xenophobia led to the mass incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. And anti-Asian violence persisted during the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the economic recession during the 1970s and 80s, when the trade war with Japan was often blamed for the mass unemployment in the United States.
Now, with the birthright citizenship case, some feel the legacy of Wong Kim Ark could be in jeopardy. Many are anticipating the Supreme Court's decision, saying this case is not just about the law, it's about who belongs in America. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Bing Wong.
It rocked the country in 2014, the Ice Bucket Challenge. Well, now it's back. Good Day DePaul's Kirsten Reedford explains.
It's the chill that took over the internet, the Ice Bucket Challenge. From celebrities to elementary school students, millions dumped buckets of ice water on their heads. But behind every splash was a cause that hit much deeper than the cold. The viral trend started in 2014. 3 young men living with ALS began doing it to create awareness for the disease and fundraise for a cure. ALS often causes people to lose the ability to move, speak, eat, and breathe. In 2014, the Ice Bucket Challenge became a global trend in 159 countries. About 17 million people worldwide participated, and over $100 million were raised to support ALS research and care for people living with the disease. The challenge froze in 2015, but students at the University of South Carolina resurrected it this past March. The university's Mental Illness Needs Discussion Club, also known as MIND, kicked off its own version of the Ice Bucket Challenge, this time to shine a light on mental health awareness.
At MIND, we believe conversations about mental health should be just as common and just as comfortable as conversations about physical health.
Bao Lai Vang, a DePaul sophomore, was nominated by her siblings for the challenge. Vang says she has family and friends who struggle with mental health.
This is a very important topic to talk about, and just by doing this challenge, it can spread awareness.
Since the launch, participants have raised more than $240,000, but some question if participants are doing it for the right reasons.
I feel like a lot of people just did it because everybody else was doing it.
Others feel the Ice Bucket Challenge doesn't have any real action, but Vang disagrees.
But it also does spread awareness because people will want to know why they're doing this challenge and why it's important.
DePaul Jr. Jerica Klinkner says the Ice Bucket Challenge definitely makes a difference.
People are getting ice water poured on their heads, so it is like doing something, and money has been raised and things have been discovered from that money that was used towards research.
But yeah, I don't know if the Ice Bucket Challenge is necessarily like giving it the like publicity that it needs, but it is causing more people to research it.
Whether it's for ALS, mental health, or the next cause to go viral, the Ice Bucket Challenge proves one thing: a simple act can ripple into something bigger. For Good Day DePaul, I am Kirsten Reedford.
Next on Good Day DePaul, Fest 2025.
And a look at the people who made it happen. Stay with us.
Matchsticks, matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There is something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me.
Fest. It was back at DePaul recently after being canceled last year due to the protest encampment. This year, the concert was impacted by another problem, weather. Despite this, Fest went on. And as I found out, it took a team of people to make it happen. DePaul students recently jammed in for one of the university's biggest events of the year, the Spring Concert Fest. The event is put on by the DePaul Activities Board, also known as DAB. DAB's concerts chair Aidan O'Neill says it takes a year's worth of planning, effort, and accomplishments to put the show together.
I think the biggest one is like marketing. So like figuring out what the vision is, coming up with like a mood board, for instance, like all the colors, all the fonts, and like what I want it to look like. But other than that, I would say definitely like picking the artist for sure was like a huge accomplishment. We went through like a lot of other people. It was a big list that we had to go through, and a lot of one-pagers, had a lot of denial, firstly. But that's part of it.
O'Neill is assisted by his DAB advisor, Joshua Rousey, who also plays a big role as lead coordinator for Fest.
One major thing, I had to do a volunteer meeting with staff and professional staff, as being a first-year professional was very difficult and very strange, but I think both meetings went pretty well. I also had to plan out roles for staff, had to make sure everything was ordered. Realizing coming from a small school to a larger school is very different. So when you order things from like 100 people to 1,500 people, it's definitely something you see.
As O'Neill mentioned, marketing is a huge part of Fest. Every poster, promotional video, and Instagram post you see comes from the DePaul Office of Student Involvement and DePaul Activities Board marketing teams. DAB marketing chair Caleb Sawyer explains what it takes to make the short-form videos for the performing artists.
I would take my time adding different effects to make it look good, and then verify it with my advisors to see if it's what they want.
Sawyer says putting on such a large-scale event as a student can get a bit demanding.
Let's say I have 3-4 video projects due in a week, and that along with school, along with like my extracurricular activities, it's not very well planned out to where I can crank all of it out to make sure I get it done in time.
DePaul After Dark chair Emma Cortez speaks similarly of the Fest process.
I feel like one of the stressful points was trying to just get out marketing, making sure that it was like out on time, making sure everything was submitted in the student center for layouts.
Cortez is a part of the committee that plans After Hours, an event in the Lincoln Park Student Center meant to keep the party going after Fest.
Every Tuesday morning, I met with the Arts and Amusement Chair, Sydney, and our advisor, Nicole, to discuss the different stages that we hit during the planning process. We measured different areas in 128B to make sure that some items fit. We came up with an agenda, and we worked on the layout for the event.
After months of hard work, the Fest staff just wanted the audience to have fun.
Honestly, I just want people to like have fun and like have a good experience. Like, picking a good artist and people being happy with that artist, and like people commenting on the page being like, hey, this was like actually really fun, and just like overall people having a good experience and like everything going right.
I know like a lot of people, at least like when it comes to camera, just love having their picture taken.
So I want you guys to have fun, turn up, get all the Fest merch, eat good, enjoy the artists, and then make sure you guys come out to After Hours after.
O'Neill says going to Fest is a unique opportunity.
You're basically going to a music festival for $10 for a ticket that would normally cost like $100. So for one, financially, that's a good deal. But secondly, it's just like an opportunity to like get involved on campus and like just do something, and like make friends.
This year's Fest had some memorable performances featuring artists like Halia Love and Chiquite and Baby Tate. Due to weather restrictions, a Boogie with the Hoodie was unable to make it in town, and Baby Tate's performance was delayed and moved indoors. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Tori Trevino.
In sports, a great showing for DePaul at the Big East Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Both the men's and women's team took second place overall. On the men's side, Alex Bernstein took first in the hammer throw, Jaden Gary won the shot put, Demetrius Rowe took the 100 meters, Darius Brown won the 110-meter hurdles, and the Blue Demons team of Dominic Cole, Charles Lewis, Darius Brown, and Demetrius Roll won the 4x100-meter relay. And finally, Demetrius Roll was named the men's most outstanding track performer.
On the women's side, Cash Allen took first in the shot put. Jaya Hopf won the triple jump. Sade Miller took first in the 100 meters. And DePaul's team of Miller, Nevaeh Lowe, Maya Mays, and Jetta Mays won the 4x100-meter relay.
In women's basketball, DePaul has added 2 more transfer players. One is Justice Odom, a center from Lindenwood College. Odom started 52 games for Lindenwood over the last 2 seasons. The other transfer is Faith Okori, a Chicago native who spent 2 seasons at George Mason University. Okori appeared in 18 games last season for George Mason.
Next on Good Day DePaul, cowboy culture comes to Soldier Field for the Beyonce concerts.
That story when we return.
The flu is unpredictable and can be serious. Who needs to be vaccinated against the flu? You. Get a flu vaccine. For more information, www.flu.gov.
Beyonce fans recently flocked to Soldier Field in full Cowboy Carter regalia. Hats, boots, and sparkles. Here again is Good Day DePaul's Lane Wyatt.
Beyonce and her Cowboy Carter tour have officially arrived here in the city of Chicago, and the Beehive is dressed to impress. The Cowboy Carter tour and album have a Western cowboy aesthetic with the Beyonce flair, and she brought both to Chicago. Boots, cowboy hats, fringe, and denim on denim on denim were the most worn items of the fans in attendance. Logan Deacon and Isabella Bradley are DePaul students who knew how to make their cowboy couture on a budget.
I got this, all of this is thrifted, from the embroidered jeans to the top that stays on, obviously, and to the shawl as well. And this is that cowboy hat, so graciously provided by my friend Logan.
I got thrifted. We went thrifting together. We got all this stuff. Or I got this. These are my jorts. She got me some chains. Yeah, looking snazzy.
The 3 shows drew nearly 60,000 people to Soldier Field, even after the show was nearly canceled due to weather. Kay and her best friends, who have looked forward to the concert for months, said they made it a point to dress according to the theme.
If I remember correctly, the boots were from Amazon, the hat I think also from Amazon, the shorts Fashion Nova, the shirt was Shein, and the scarf Fashion Nova, and this beautiful fan was from a vendor on Etsy. Yes.
Beyonce brought the country to the city. Now time will only tell if Western wear is here to stay. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Lane Wyatt.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by visiting our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And if you have any news tips, message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Joseph Francis.
And I'm Tori Givino. Have a good day, DePaul.